at East Tank because it's tappy. So I don't tend to do much in terms of update speculation because most of it is just that, really, speculation and wish lists and whatnot. However, the dev team at Black Mirror have just dropped a huge update, and I'll be honest with you, I am extremely excited, so I wanted to do a little video. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So first off, and this is an absolutely huge addition, precision bombing strikes, and I am so excited for this. Can you imagine sitting in your Sherman or your IS-1 pinging enemy armor from a safe distance, and then you hear that terrifying Stuka siren overhead? Or maybe even if you're German infantry hearing the sound of that IL-2 coming in and everyone just sprinting for cover. It's going to be absolutely awesome, and just check out this video. I mean, that looks pretty good, right? For the commanders, the dev team have outlined, and this is going to be a very expensive ability to use, which you kind of expect. And it's going to need squad leaders to be really on their game with their callouts, making sure everything is precise. So it's going to increase that level of teamwork quite extensively, but it'll definitely add another dynamic to it, and it'll be a really, really good commander ability to be in control of anyway. But speaking of additions as well, something else that's been really needed for a long time is ammo drops. I have always personally found that trying to get ammo puts far too much reliance on people playing support, and the rifleman class just doesn't seem to get used that much nowadays. And once you've got to level 3 anyway, ammo carrying just seems to be pretty pointless as soon as you've got a bundle of grenades to throw at people instead. So this will be a really welcome addition. I think it will also massively help with planning attacks. I think the most use we're going to see out of the ammo box is for those defending squads. If you just stick an ammo crate in the middle of the defending point, then they can go back and get as much and as little as they want. But it does have a finite resource though, so as soon as it's been used 12 times or it gets blown up, then it will be disappeared and you'll need to add a new one there. But still though, a really, really welcome addition, so can't wait to see that in the game as well. So moving on as well, there's a few changes coming to armour as well. If you play armour, firstly the classic Sherman M4A1 medium is being replaced by the M4A375W. This does bring it slightly more in line with the historical placing of the game as well, as it was one of the most commonly used Shermans in the European campaign anyway. But at the very least, it will bring that Sherman model into a slightly newer and slightly more up-to-date one, because I think this Sherman was one of the first that was actually put into the game, so it is starting to look a little bit outdated. There isn't any details as to whether this will be replacing the Jumbo 75 as well, because it will replace the medium. I don't think it will, purely because the Panther's coming back as a heavy tank as well, which then means that both the Axis and the Allies have 2 heavies and 1 medium, which will be quite good. I am hoping that this will do 2 things though. Firstly, I would like to see the Jumbo 75 get a bit of a buff and become slightly more useful, because at the moment, if it's not used against a medium tank, it's pretty pointless. It can't kill a Tiger from anywhere other than behind still, or maybe from the side. But mainly I'm really hoping that this makes the 76 and the Tiger really, really expensive as part of this whole implementation of a heavy medium, if that makes sense. Because there's far too many 76s and there's far too many Tigers still on the field during the game. So to lessen that would make them much rarer and much more terrifying in that respect anyway. So that would be a good change. So as well as that new Sherman and bringing the Panther back into the game, they've also added smart materials to the medium Sherman, the Panther and the Tiger. So if you're unaware what these smart materials are, it's going to be a major leap in the game optimization by essentially reusing textures like wood and metal to prevent unique models from having to be used for multiple assets. This will sort of increase the performance overall. It does also mean that further down the line, you'll likely see the same metal being used on a tank as you will on your Thompson, and it'll be a significant leap whilst also making sure the games looks really crisp by not having to create these unique textures for every single item. I mean, in theory it's pretty boring, but at the same time it's a very important change, and it's one that everybody loves game optimizations and everyone loves their game running smoothly, so when there's a change that comes out like that, I am all for it. So they also announced in this blog update that they're making a few changes to Omar Beach offensive mode, because obviously if you played that map, you know it's an absolute shitstorm most of the time. But they're now adding a landing craft, which I'm thinking is just going to be purely for the armor, so you can get into your tanks before getting the shit shot out of you. This seems like a good idea on face value, but the biggest issue with the tanks, in my opinion, is that you get 2 or 3 AT guns set up on the cliffside of Omar Beach and they just pummel any piece of armor, so giving them a single point to leave kind of doesn't really remove that issue. But, you know, we'll see what it's like. But I think it'll still just create that bottleneck where you can train your AT gun and just fire away at everything that moves. But we'll see. So that's a quick roundup of the big changes. I'm really excited for update 12 and to see these things being implemented. The devs are running scheduled PTEs as well, so if you want, you can jump into that. If you just join their Discord, you can join in and see for yourself. I've done it a couple of times myself as well, and I can't wait to see these changes published. Obviously, I'm not sharing any of that footage just out of respect, and they ask you not to, although there's no sort of embargo or NDA. But update 12 is going to be absolutely massive. Think about it, we've got new maps, we've got night maps, we've got new weapons, weaponized half tracks, fortification snapping. It's going to be huge and it's going to be insane, and it's going to bring that community of players up again. Anyway, that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, share and subscribe if you want more Hell Let Loose content. Check out some of my other videos in the meantime, and as soon as the update is released, I'll get streaming as well. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.